Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. So we're gonna do some special content for tonight. So we are gonna go over the 2018 version of Charlotte Roval layout one more time. And I'm saying one more time because you ain't heard the news. iRacing is retiring the older data, some of the older tracks, some data to make room for the updates and the new stuff that's coming in. So long story short, in 2024, Charlotte Motor Speedway had a new oval layout. They changed it a couple corners and they rearranged it, the infield part of the track. And you're seeing so long story short, they rearranged it, the track on the inside on the infield. So because of that, they're getting rid of the old scan from 2018. So that is including the 2018 Charlotte Roval layout and also 2019 to 2023 Roval layout as well. They were in clear if they're gonna maintain these layouts. But we had to assume they're getting rid of them because, again, from what iRacing was explaining, their new artwork, they're using new tools and artwork and new technology for the updates, and it is gonna wreck. It's gonna mess with the older tracks. So, unfortunately, we're starting to face around our first round the track retirement. And, we're going to be losing older tracks going forward. It's very unfortunate, in my opinion, because it's going to take a lot of work to keep up with the older tracks. Either they're going to have to update these older tracks as well, or, they're going to have to, cut some fat somewhere and save themselves from doing more work. I personally think older tracks and older scan are worth keeping around, even if it doesn't really work very well with the new graphics system that's coming into iRacing going forward, or the new artwork or new stuff that's been coming to iRacing. I still wish there's a way for us to keep the older stuff, the older data, the older scans and all that stuff. But unfortunately, this is where we are now. So because of that, we're gonna, be running the 2018 layout of Charlotte Roval one more time, because that was not the layout I was using very often when it first came out. So I joined iRacing in 2020. So that was after, they added the new layout for 2019 to 2023. And the biggest change in that layout was the batch chain. So it used to be 2018, that batch chain was like a bus stop, like a small bus stop, and it's a high-speed bus stop. And the problem was in 2018, it was causing bit wrecks with the cars hitting the tires. Bubba Wallace was one of them, and I think maybe Eric Jones. I can be wrong about the driver name, but I think it was the 20 car as well. In addition to Bubba Waller, they both got pretty bad wrecks on the back straight chip chain, so they had to make the chip chain on the back straight deeper, like to what we've been racing on for the last couple of years. So the Charlotte Roval layout that we've been racing on for the last couple of years was around from 2019 to 2023. And then in 2024, they made a couple changes to the Roval layout in the real world. They basically cut out a couple corners in the infield, and there's now this bit hairpin going back onto the oval part of the track. So, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a couple days from now when we get the new track, when we get the new scan from 2025. So, yeah, a lot. So basically, it's about 80% the same, but there's a couple major changes And we'll explore those changes when we get the new track. But for now, we're focusing on the 2018 version, which is the point of this video, because that layout was only around for 1 year, and I didn't get to race on that layout a lot. We did the PCC race on it like a season or two ago, but I want to do it one more time. I want to run NASCAR Generation Set on this layout. So I've been chatting for like 5 minutes apparently, so we're gonna go have some fun with this layout. And I am racing the old Generation Set stock car that was around from 2013 to 2021. So this is the 2021 version of Generation Set, which is the closest we can get to what they ran in 2018. So we are gonna zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, that's about right. So and I'm sorry, getting one more thing now for the overlays that we're gonna be having here. Alright. So, we might as well, explain the full history of Charlotte Roval while we're doing this. So, during the 2010s, we only had 2 road courses, and with the NASCAR playoff system, we did not have a road course that made sense for the fall part of NASCAR calendar. So they decided to create a road course out of the fall date at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So instead, at the time, Charlotte Motor Speedway was not the best track for Generation Set. So they came up with this road course layout for Charlotte Motor Speedway so they can host the playoffs. And they can host the road course in the playoffs. And that's how this whole idea came to being. And then you'll see what I'm talking about. We got this bat straight chain here. And oh! I didn't mean to do that. But that's exactly what happened in 2018 with a couple drivers. They were smashing into the tires. They were smashing into the wall of tires at like full speed. So they end up having to resign the backstretch chain. Yeah, that's why they had to change it up, and that's why this layout was only around for 1 year. But it's still, it's still part of the history of Charlotte Motor Speedway and the history of the Roval that we see here now. Sorry about that. I did not mean to hit that wall that hard. Oh Jesus! I'm terrible. It's been a while since I got to drive this race car. I forgot how heavy it was on the road courses, and why, NASCAR Next Generation car is better for road courses, because it was made to be like the supercars. Alright, so again, we got the yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but that's how they did it in 2018 with this layout. And it was dangerous. But everything else was the same from 2018 to 2023. That we end up running for 2019 to onward and to this day is what we were running is the rest of the track is the same. And then in 2024 they decided to change it up. And the most important part of the change was this part here. I'm going to stop here for a second. So 2018 to 2023, you'll be taking like this corner like Noble, but in 2024 they got rid of these corners to the right. And instead, now you get to go straight from here at higher speed, and then you kind of go to the right, and then you'll get to this 180 degrees hairpin going onto the oval. So that was the big change. We are not getting this anymore after Tuesday. I am assuming we're gonna lose this part of the track, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this part of a track is what we're losing. It's crazy. This is crazy, you know. It was crazy back then. It's still crazy trying to get through that part. That was such. This is such a difficult track for this car. I'm trying my best. Sorry. I mean, generation 6 cars, we got to drive them for about 2 years before they change it with the next generation cars for NASCAR. So I did not get to run this car on the road courses that much, and that lack of experience is showing here. Alright, we're gonna attack it a little bit more next time and see what happens. And we have to stop missing that corner, basically. We're just being bad right now. That was terrible, too. Trying my best. There we go. It likes to try to loop on me. A little bit faster, for sure, a lot better. Come on, this thing's a slug. Boss slug. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna keep like the old this old port of a track. I think we still will have it. It just won't look the same. I don't think it'll look the same. But it'll be nice to get 3D fencing for this track, for sure, and updated signs and barriers and all that stuff. That was a little bit too much, but we got it. Let's try one more lap and keep it clean. That stupid corner, man. Trying my best. Here we are. Alright, actually, I'm gonna do one more lap. Except because we completely messed up that last corner last time. That was difficult. Alright, that was okay. Here we go. Much better. There we go. That was good. That was probably the best we were gonna get. No, I mean, I can do better than that, but I didn't want this to end up being 30 minutes video. And we will, replay that lap again. So yeah, here we are. Here's my lap around the 2018 layout using the Generation Set race car that we ran back then. Now, this was updated to 2021, but, you know, it still counts. It's a thought that counts. And this car makes more sense to run for this layout anyway. But yeah, this is what I was running back in 2021 when I was on iRacing, so... It's looking good for sure. It's looking good. And then we got this chain here. Yeah, there you go. And then we're coming around to finish up. Bingo. Alright, yeah, that was one lap. What I was doing. So we are gonna go to the free camera here. So here's my core, obviously my core. So back then, we were doing a lot of commercial stuff for breast cancer awareness in Octobers. So it used to be a lot of pink around here back then. And then really, in Wheel World, the track is mostly the same. It's just that iRacing's updating their artwork. They're adding in new logos. They're adding new buildings in. They're replacing buildings in field right here. And yeah, all that is a little bit older. And then in 2019, I was watching the Cup Series race from here. I was just standing there the whole time. It was a grand admission for college students. It was $25. And what this scan didn't have was a Ferris wheel over this turn 3 here. So I was going up on the Ferris wheel throughout the race in 2019, including the last 10 laps of that race. And it was fun. It was incredible. It was some of the best views I ever had watching NASCAR races. It was awesome. And then I will never forget the speed coming down to the front chain. It's even more unbelievable in person. But yeah, it's just stayed the opposite. You can see why they need to update this track. This looked like it was made in 2005. The cast fencing needs to be updated, which is what they're gonna do. And this thing is disgusting. This is disgusting. Like, they can do better than that now, for sure. And yeah, those trees need to be updated. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be updated. And what I'm talking about is, this is the main feature. This is the main feature of 2018 layout. Was this chit chain. This chit chain that was barely a chit chain. So a lot of people were only losing like 20 or 30 miles per hour before going through this part. And it was dangerous because these tires here, you missed the corner, you missed the turn. I can't believe they did this. So it missed the corner. Not only you go over the turtles, these turtles here. I mean, most of the world's gonna call them the saltish curbs, but here in America, we were calling them the turtles. And not only these 3,000-pound cars were gonna go over the turtles, but they'll be floating right into these tires at 100 mile per hour, 120 mile per hour after going over the turtles. So mostly the car was lifting in the air and then hit the tires. With the plastic crashes, it was not pretty. It was dangerous. So they end up, completely redesigning this part of the track. Completely redesigning this overall thinking for this part of the track. And what they end up doing is, they made the turn in to turn out deeper into the infield, and then it'll come back onto the track. So they made this whole chain bigger and deeper and more angled there, so they don't have to worry about plowing into these tire barriers at the full speed. So that's why they had to change it up after 1 year. It was too dangerous to keep. But for sure, it's a shame that we're losing this piece of history when we get the track updated in a couple days. Like, yes, I'm happy we're updating the track. I'm happy we're updating the track still, and we're adding new stuff and making the artwork better. But I'm a history nerd. I love older tracks. I love details like that. So I think it's a bit bummer that we're losing this little history. And of course, we're also losing the 2009 layout as well, which is a bummer because Charlotte Motor Speedway was completely different back in 2009. I mean, Turn 2 used to have like big grandstands that they ended up having to tear down because the reception took a lot of people away from racetracks. So they were not filling up like they used to be back in 2003 or so, those early 2000s. So they had to tear down a couple grandstands. And yeah, you can see it in 2009 layout that iRacing's also, getting rid of. So, I'm saying, the first half of an infield port is not changing, but the second half is, and what this port is changing. So what's happening is in 2024. So 2024, they added like a bridge between these two corners here. They added like a straight between these two corners. So now, for NASCAR at least, I don't know about other racing series, but NASCAR, you're like cornering here. But instead of turning right, you're gonna go straight to here, and then you'll be using this piece of track, and then you're gonna do like 180 degrees hairpin, going back onto the oval here, and it's like this bit heavy braking zone. So they were trying to create another corner for passing, and it was quite messy. It was quite messy when, on the restarts, they're trying to get through this part, and they were going like 3 or 4 wide into this corner, going around this hairpin. So we'll be like here, and shit going around this hairpin. Yeah, this hairpin here. And then you'll get back onto the track after the hairpin. And then you'll go back to the current chain that we still have from 2009, 2023 layout. But yeah, it's like this whole deal with Charlotte Motor Speedway. So yeah. Ooh, I didn't realize. I'm sorry, I'm shuddering here a little bit. I did not realize that the outside part of Charlotte Motor Speedway is so bare. That's not how it looks on the outside. It looks a lot nicer than this on the outside. So I'm sure that's another reason for the changes that they're gonna do is they're updating the stuff that's on the outside. Because again, it does not look like this. And then there's like a bridge over this highway. In real life, this is like super busy highway. Like we're talking about 4 or 5 wide traffic going through each way. Like this is a really busy street, even on non-race weekends. Like this is a major city road, even outside the race days. And then all that is parking. And then, of course, you got the dirt track here. We got the dirt track here that they end up adding a couple years later. And then we got the dragway. The dragway here. That is the 4-wide dragway. It's interesting that we got all this detail on the buildings out here. But we did not get that detail for this building here. because again, it looks a lot nicer in person than this. It does not look like this. So that is pretty glaring and missing. And then we got this landfill here. So you're wondering what this is. This is a landfill. So, and then I don't know. This is still around in real world. But also in real world outside, Turn 1 and 2, they got rid of a parking lot here and installed a new road course here for rich people to drive their fancy cars. Charlotte's a really rich area at this point. It's the second biggest banking center in the United States, so there's a lot of rich people in the Charlotte area. It's always impressive what you see in Charlotte area with the cars and all the fancy stuff that you see out here. But yeah, that's about sums up, us leaving the 2018 layout. I hope you're enjoying this little video that I've been doing, and yeah, again, it's a bummer that we're getting rid of this little history, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. Clearly, it's a business decision for iRacing to, be like, oh, this is not worth keeping anymore, and I think that's a real bummer. Again, I hope you're enjoying this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and I know I was shuddering pretty bad. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so give me some break. Alright, well, thank you very much. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.